Move! Move, Sima, get up and get back on the ship. If I move, it'll probably attack. If you don't, it still might attack. Eros looked down through the canopy. The dust had settled enough to see. She was laying face up, her legs bent at the knee, her elbows lifting her head, and was slowly pushing herself backwards against the dirt. Now! Do it now, Sima. Slowly if you have to, but move. Do not stay there. She slowly lifted herself, stood, and began backstepping towards the ship. After 10 or so steps, she turned and restarted her sprint towards the steps in what felt like the longest 10 seconds and hardest climb of her life. She grabbed and pulled... Oh, what the fuck? After 10 or so steps, she turned and restarted her sprint towards the steps, and in what felt like the longest 10 seconds and the hardest climb of her life, she grabbed and pulled down on the emergency release bar. The door rapidly opened, projecting a rush of air outwards. She jumped inside and hit the safe switch, which started the cleaning process. I'm on board, Eros, I'm on board. Good. Get up here as soon as you can. What's it doing? Strangely, nothing. It's just hovering here. There seems to be a haze around it, likely from the re-entry, I guess. It looks, from its almost jet black surface, that it's one of the more aggressive ones, but I can't tell if that colour is pigmentation or it's scorching. Oh, wait, something's... The loud bellowing horn-like cry of the ship that had become a staple of the species' interaction with humans made every surface in the ship vibrate. Did it scan us? No, at least I don't think so. It just honked at us. What is it doing here? I thought they were only ever interested in ammonia worlds. Are there any registered barnacles or structures around here? None in the database. We're far too close to the bubble for that. Once again, the Thargoid ship bellowed at the grounded asp, this time rotating its flower petals in a fan blade-like action by 180 degrees. It was slowly changing colour. It might be healing. As he finished his sentence, the green-like yellow gill structures lit up, and it once again bellowed, this time illuminating the ship with an alien light, spreading its petals for what seemed like an eternity. The mighty vessel hung in the air, this time almost in complete silence, as though it was considering their right to continue breathing and their onward journey. Sima stepped onto the bridge, out of breath and shaking. She looked up at the Thargoid. She had only ever seen them on Galnet. They imparted an enormous fear in her, far worse than anything she had experienced before. Water dripped onto the floor, making a rhythmic tapping sound, as both commanders felt as they had been frozen in time, waiting for either death or salvation. Finally the petals began to fold inwards, and the Thargoid vessel slowly began to ascend, causing an audible sigh of relief to be expelled by both human occupants. Sima, I want to follow it, Eros said immediately, and began flicking toggles on the flight seat. Are you out of your mind? Sima gasped. No, I need to follow it. Listen, He turned his head, his gaze completely filled by her bikini and sand-covered body. He looked up at her face. The community doesn't know a great deal about their jump technology. I need to study its wake signature, even perhaps keep the wake open. Let me guess, I'm on stick and you're on instruments. That's probably the most effective arrangement, yes. Fine. Let me suit up so I can get into that seat, and I need 2 minutes. Just start following it, you absolute idiot. Gentle though, remember I'm not strapped down and I'd rather not get squished, Sima said as she exited the cockpit and headed towards one of the suit-up lounges. The ship began to hum and vibrate as Eros engaged the thrusters and lifted clean off the ground. The Thargoid was 20 kilometers away already, almost straight up. It didn't look like it was going to make as speedy as an escape as it did with its entry.